Well, hello, my baby gorillas. Twice in 1 day. Oh, it's spoiling you guys. And let's talk about Anis Sarwar and Humza Yousaf, two anti-white racists in the Scottish Parliament. The people use the word racist and blah, blah, blah in a very, oh, he's a racist, that's a racist, this is racist, everyone's racist. But these guys are absolute scumbags. Part of the child rapist death cult again. I think they go to the mosque, which will have to be knocked down. But Islam incites violence, so I don't know how we nippy and our daft hate speech laws are going to overcome that. Maybe the Muslims are going to be exempt, and again, Nicola's trying to prevent white males from breeding by population replacement. She's already been on you watch Calamity and subscribe to Calamity. He's done a great thing about wee Nippy trying to do replacement immigration and also not allowing people, white Scottish men, to actually get on, because obviously she's an alleged lesbian and definitely an authoritarian fascist type individual. That's probably why Humza useless. Although Humza useless because he's a part of the child rapist death cult, would throw her off the minarets because she's a lesbian. So I don't know how that would work for wee Nippy, allegedly. So we have to look at what's going to happen to the mosque, because obviously if you're bringing in hate speech, Islam incites violence, because the Prophet Muhammad, when he was in Mecca, pulled down the pants of these Jews in Medina, not Mecca, in Medina, pulled down the pants of the Jews and started touching their penises to see if they were mature, and touched all the penises, and then they cut their heads off. So really disgusting stuff, and since then Islam has never been a peaceful religion. He was a child rapist and a rapist. A raper. He told his men to rape women, female captives. That's why Muslims are very much a rapist ideology, and obviously he was a child rapist as well. He was having sex with Aisha when he was married to her when she was 6 and having sex at 9. We've got to remember that this is actually in the Hadith. So it's actually in the Hadith that this is already stated. That's why in Pakistan, not only did they not want a bill because it was anti-Islamic, because to rape children, they're now also, what they do is they go out and pick up a Christian girl, rape her, and then force conversions in Pakistan, and Khan is not doing anything about that either. So, I mean, really a disgusting bunch, really, and that's certainly not the sort of society that I want to import into Scotland. We would have to knock down the mosque, because there's no point in promoting this Islamofascism. Islam is a fascist ideology. It's not like a separate book for literalists or fundamentalists. I call them literalists because they literally want to interpret the child rapist death cult and use the Sharia law, which is disgusting as well, to put into our society, to overturn it. And obviously, wee Nippy being a globalist shill, she's actually trying to implement that rather than protecting our own people. She's actually wanting to protect the child rapist death cult. Absolutely disgusting. So I think they're going to officially change their name. The SNP are going to change their name to the Islamo-Marxist and Globalist Party. Islamo-Marxist Globalist Party, which more fits actually what they are. So stop deceiving people for what your actual underlying political intentions and motivations actually are. So, I mean, really, a disgusting bunch, really disgusting. I'll certainly never vote for them again. And obviously, because she's not had any children, she's not really set a good example. We've got a decline. She's quite happy to talk about the declining birth rate, but not actually to put in any policies to actually say to young women, yeah, maybe a career isn't the best thing, or a period where you're actually going to have kids, and actually then encourage them to actually have children, rather than actually just trying to do population replacement by importing people from regressive inbreeding parts of the world where they're all having sex with their cousins, which the Prophet Muhammad actually stated was okay. You would think that if there was a God, they would be telling them not to do that if he was a prophet, because it makes your IQ lower and it makes you basically 3% of people in Birmingham, because they're all having sex with their and also having sex with their cousins in Bradford. It's actually leading to mental illnesses and mental retardation. Like, I think that's what Humza Yousaf's got, because he's part of the child rapist death cult. So Humza Yousaf was doing his anti-white, and so was Sarwar doing his anti-white. He had to bring back the Pakistani gang who picked a white boy off the streets, took him on a trip, tortured him, I think they cut his penis off and then set him on fire. That shows you the type of scumbags that these guys are. So Islam promotes violence, so it's not just hate speech. It's just a way for them to silence opponents. Don't forget, I've been banned on Facebook, LinkedIn, and now the Senate knows about it, and they are still not holding them to account. We'll massively fine global companies, or if they don't pay it, we can cut them off as well. We'll play as hardball as you want. It's no problem. You're not doing me any favours. So we will play as hardball as they want us to do, and we'll win anyway. Once we come to power, we will win anyway. So we have to talk about knocking down the mosques in Scotland, because obviously these violent inbred extremists, where, as I said, it's quite disgusting. It's making them retarded. That's why Humza Yousaf and Anas Sarwar are a couple of retards, because I think they've both come from families who are having sex with their cousins. Oh, it's quite disgusting. And wee Nippy seems to think that's okay. Oh, wee thin lips. Oh dear, eh? Oh my goodness. So Humza Yousaf's a massive racist. So if you don't want to vote for a racist, don't vote for Humza Yousaf or Anas Sarwar. It's not acceptable being a Muslim racist or a Pakistani racist against white people. If you don't like it, why don't you just go back to Pakistan? That would solve it. There's no white people there in Pakistani parliament. There's no Christians or atheists that are in charge of any of the large Pakistani cities, white European atheists. I think we all get kicked out of India as well. So if you don't like it here, why don't you just go back? If you've got a problem with people's colour here, the country that you've came to, why don't you just go back to Pakistan? And then they're all full of brown people in positions in the parliament, brown people in judges, brown. What a clown, absolute clown. They need to, Humza Yousaf and Anas Sarwar need to go. A couple of anti-white racists as well. So that's said as well. I mean, anybody that's in a child rapist death cult, I wouldn't be voting for. And I would be asking them very pertinent questions on what your belief system was, to bring in this sort of Islamofascists. And we can see the start of this backdoor blasphemy laws brought in, supported by wee Nippy herself, the alleged lesbian. So Humza Yousaf's a racist fascist, and he hates the people that are actually here, which are paying his wages. Love my baby gorillas. Don't vote SNP.